Hi everyone, welcome to Jie Podcast. Today we are doing another confessions episode, and today's episode will be on family confession. So we again got all these confessions from NUSWhispers and SGWhispers. So let's jump straight into the first one. So Sarah, you start?
Okay, my fiance's parents unwell off and does not have enough money for retirement. Not sure about their finances, but from what I understand, the savings they have is less than $5,000. My fiance being the only child means that should anything happen to them in the future, we need to pay, and I'm uncomfortable about this. I feel bad for feeling this way, but money aside, his parents has always been a point of conflict in our relationship. Bad-mouthing me to his other relatives, scolding and fighting with my family to the point that there is physical confrontation, and also because his parents have no financial literacy at all. Spending unnecessary money on womanizing, fortune-telling. Sigh. What should I do? I'm seriously thinking about ending this engagement even though I love my fiancé a lot. P.S. As for my parents, they are financially independent and well prepared for their retirement, so we don't have to worry about them.
I remember the last time we did these confessions, we were trying very hard to say, don't keep saying breakup is the solution. But in a lot of cases, breakup is the only solution and it's the best solution. So I think
I feel like... Okay, you can share your thoughts first.
No, I feel like it depends. In this situation, right, it depends on what the fiancé is doing. Like whether he is controlling expectations or not.
I want to know whether he's doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, like, according to this, the father womanizing. Okay, let's not talk even about what the parents are spending their money on. But the fact that they have physical altercations with your family should already be a very big indicator that this is not going to work out.
And I feel like the guy isn't really doing much. That's why the physical confrontation happened.
Yeah, exactly. My question is, what was he doing when the family was fighting? Like, and what exactly are they fighting about? That's what I'm very curious about.
I have no idea. Or maybe like his family is just crazy. I mean, look at the way they spend money and how they manage their life. It just screams crazy. So I'm not surprised that they might get into a physical fight over something that is very small.
And okay lah, you know what? If your boyfriend, right, is not doing anything about it, not doing much about it, and I honestly think in this situation, there's nothing much he can do except cut off contact with, not he cut off contact with his family, but he let you cut off contact with his family.
But the money, like if anything happens to them,
yeah, and that's the first thing, like to prevent all this stupid fighting, right? And then after that is the money part, like unless he allocates like, okay, only 10, you know, like most people, they give 10% of their salary to their parents. Like if he sticks to that 10% no matter what happens, otherwise I would be quite uncertain. And even if he sticks to that 10%, even if he say he sticks to that 10%, right, to be honest, I won't trust. So break up. That's what I think.
I know, but judging from this post, it doesn't sound like he is like a very, very nice person as well.
He's not actively doing anything.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, next one.
Break up.
Next one, okay, the title is Thick-Skinned Relatives. A not very close relative came over with their kids, 5 and 7, when I was not around. I have told my parents to close my room door as I have expensive gadgets I do not want kids to be playing with. When I came home, my relatives are still around and I was shocked to see their 2 kids in my room, screaming, and they're snatching my earphone. Hell, one pulling on each side of the earphone. I snapped and scolded them and told them to leave my room. My parents have the study room open up for them to play in, and it's being told to them clearly to not enter other rooms without permission. The mother of the kids seems very upset that her kids are crying. She snapped at me for scolding her kids, but the husband stopped her and removed the crying kids after checking my earphone. My earphone was broken, the cable snapped. It's not a cheap earphone, costing almost $300. I hinted at the kids' parents to compensate. The mother was of course very angry, but the father said that they would pay now me. But till now, after 2 months, still no news. I wanted to contact them again for compensation, but my parents are against it. They say don't make things ugly, but it's a $300 item, not $30. Plus, I am not so close to them after all. Is it wrong to ask for compensation?
No.
Do it.
No, they are not. She already said not very close relatives, so you don't have to be afraid of making things ugly. Just make things ugly.
I can't stand it. Like I was reading this. Okay. I really feel right. If they are not close, just ask them. I tell you, even if someone I told them right, if you don't go into my room, and if they go into my room and they spoil something that is $2, I will make them pay the $2. Okay, this is not about money. This is about principle. Okay, it's not that I cannot afford the $2, but it is so sickening when I don't know why the parents cannot control the kid. Okay, just off topic, right? Off topic. Yesterday I went to Sainsbury's, a supermarket in UK, and so there's two like travelators. One is going up, one is going down. Now, obviously, right? This kid, right, was running in the opposite direction of the travelator, and you know when he got to the end, you know what his mom said, because I just entered.
Why?
His mom said,
Well
"Good
done."
job, honey." Wow, I was like, "Whoa!" Then me and Sam, we look at each other like, you know, it's a supermarket. Like people are like carrying carts and everything. That fucking kid is just running down. People need to learn to control their children. Okay, honestly,
I think
just learn to control your kids.
they shouldn't have kids. No, you shouldn't even say that they should learn to control their kids. I feel like they shouldn't have kids.
Yeah,
if you're not going to teach them.
If you're not going to teach them to behave themselves and be responsible, and this mother, why can't you take responsibility for your kids?
Why was she even angry?
Yeah, why
Like she doesn't even want. She don't want to teach her own kid to behave well. Then other people. I mean, frankly speaking, the person who posted this did the mother's job by scolding.
Yeah. Okay. Let me
So
tell
why
you.
are you even angry?
I got a lot of traumatic stories with people's kids coming to my house, okay? So I have these two kids, right? Not I have these, I don't have two kids. This person that I used to know, okay? She came to my house with her two children. And her two children were aged like maybe like 8, and the other one maybe I think like 5 and 8, around that age or younger, I'm not sure. But you know, they're old enough to have like a bit of reasoning. So these two kids, right? Because my house has a garden, and these two kids, they just were so horrible. They were barefoot. And okay, my mom knows this person, so my mom was talking to this person, the mother. The two kids were running all over the house with their barefoot, and then running out to the garden, then jumping on our sofa, and then they would go and take, like, you know that I have this small IKEA stool, then they take the IKEA stool, then they were climbing on top of stuff, jumping off things, and the mother was just sitting there, right, like pretending that nothing was happening. And the worst part, right, when I really got very pissed off, right, and I snapped and I also scolded them, is when they started to put ping pong balls in their mouth. And then my house has stairs, so they were standing at the bottom of the stairs and shooting the ping pong balls out of their mouth. They were like literally like, and trying to see who could shoot further. And that's when I was like, I've known this person for years, okay? I've known this person more than 10 years. I just dingy face. I shouted at the kids and I said, sit down, and I said, sit down and stop moving. And the mother didn't scold me, but I said, oh, you see, now you make like 姐姐, you know, like in Chinese people call 姐姐like sister, right? Oh, see, now you make like 姐姐 angry. And then say like, good, scold them. Then I was so angry with her. I wanted to scold her. I was like, what do you think you're doing? It's not your house. And she left eventually and never came back.
She invited again? Oh, okay.
Of course not. I was so angry. I mean, like, even before that, it was the small things they were doing that was so annoying. Because my mom gave them chips. Then they were taking like a plate of chips. Then they would eat, and then like they didn't want to eat with the plate. My mom gave them plates. Then you know, like, they eat the chip, then it drop everywhere. Then after that, they don't clean their hands. Then they just go and touch this and that. And then we got, you know, in my house now, everybody in the house now are adults, so we don't experience this type of behavior. And to me, I was just like, wow. And I never really spoke to this person again. So that was that. And
the conclusion is, don't have kids if you don't want to teach them.
But here, okay, so back to like the topic of family, right? These relatives, just cut them off. Honestly, you're not even close to them. Why keep in contact with these people? And you know what? I would
Just get your money back. Get your money back first and then cut them off.
yeah. I would message the husband and be like, hey, where is the promised compensation? I thought you say you're going to give me a compensation, and I mean like, if my parents don't ask for it, right? I mean like, if the OP's parents don't want them to make things difficult, awkward, then the OP's parents should pay back. Like, yeah, because I think if it's my own, like my own, let's say it's my friend spoil my children's things and I very paiseh to ask my friend back for money, I would pay for it, man. I would be like, yeah, this is your things. I give you $50 to make up for whatever if it's $50, right? So yeah, but this type of people, no, I would just cut it off because I don't need this type of future behavior. And this woman is just unreasonable. I don't know what she's snapping about. The only thing she should snap is at her kids.
Oh my god. Anyway, I wanted to ask you this. Do you think, like, I don't know, there's a world of mother Karen moms out there, like in Singapore?
There's a world of Karen moms all over the world. What do you mean?
No, like this, like specifically in the Singapore context, like the not just Karen, but then like they're super fierce and super tiger mom.
I don't understand. So they are very fierce to their kids,
Yes.
but they are also very protective of their kids.
Yes, and they are fierce to other people when other people like this kind of this pattern.
I think,
And they're very demanding.
I don't think it's only Singapore, because I hear a lot of stories of people generally around the world, right? That like they get very defensive when other people scold their kids. And I cannot understand why. Because if somebody scold your kids, and I mean, okay, fine, if it's without reason, obviously you have the right to be angry. But if your kid is making a fucking mess, and you cannot control your kid, and someone else scold your kid, you fucking deserve to get scolded. I just cannot stand it when you're like, oh, nobody scolds my children. Mama back on. Shut up! Control your kids, then I won't have to scold them.
I don't know, I feel like I hear these kind of stories very often nowadays.
I can't stand it. Like, I mean, like, it's not like people are going around trying to scold children, right? But the kids really nowadays, the parents just don't want to control their kids. They're doing so many things that are not only like naughty, like fine, you want to be naughty, but they're doing things that are dangerous.
I don't know, I don't like it when their parents, when like this kind of parents feel that whatever their kids do is right.
Or let them get away with like, oh, it's because they are kids being kids.
Yeah, that's why you need to teach them. Kids. That's why you need. Yeah, you need to teach them.
Yeah.
That's your job,
Yeah, I mean, if they want to play, bring them to the appropriate place to play, or like teach them not to do certain things. Don't destroy other people's stuff and then say like, oh, it's children being children. Okay,
moving on. Oh my god, okay. My parents are super traditional Chinese types. Since young, they sent me to SAP/majority Chinese schools, and they always told me not to mix with Malays or Indians and whites because the dad hates them. A PRC also cannot. PRC is People's Republic of China, so basically China people. However, in primary school, my table buddy was a girl who was half Chinese and Punjabi. When I brought her home one day to play with, my mom asked her about her parents and her race. She said she was Chinese, but her mother was Punjabi. My mother was okay with this, surprisingly. She told me that same day, as long as my friends have Singaporean Chinese blood or heritage, then they can be my friend. Now I'm in my second year of university, and I've been dating a Sikh guy for a year and a half. My mom likes him, however, my dad not so much. I asked my parents to give him a chance because our relationship was going in a direction different from my past ones. So my father gave him a chance. He invited him to dinner at this Chinese restaurant. He even surprised me. He made all the orders in Chinese and was very well versed in Chinese culture and knew a lot about Buddhism, which particularly impressed them. This was last year. He proposed yesterday and I said yes. Now how do I break the news to my parents? I'm afraid to the call they'll say no. Okay, where do we start from? We start from her telling her parents or about the racism issue?
Let's start from the first line, okay? traditional
parents are-
Chinese people does not mean you are racist, okay? You can be traditional and not be racist, okay? It is not a traditional Chinese thing to be racist. I just want to say that first. It's not a traditional Chinese characteristic. So don't say that your parents are traditional Chinese. That's why they are racist, okay? They are not. They are racist because they are racist. So let's start with that one.
Okay. Okay, next line. We are going to dissect it line by line, right?
No, I mean that was the first thing I thought. Oh, why do people think that it's a traditional Chinese thing? No, and okay. I think the next one, right, was like, do people
The
not?
SAP.
Yeah. Okay, that. Is there something that is? You know, I don't know if you've heard of this comedian called George Carlin before. He passed away, and he was a comedian and social commentator. So he was saying something about him being Irish. He said this thing: what is there to be proud of being Irish? Like being proud of your like being proud of your race. And I'm not saying like be ashamed, but I'm saying like it's not something that you earned. It is something that you are born with. So what makes you think that your race is something that you should, like flaunt it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not, yeah. As in, like, it's something you're born with. It's not something you earn. So what is it about? Oh, you have Singaporean Chinese blood. That is so special. It's literally something you're born with. So I just kind
No,
of
I don't understand. What's the thing about SAP or like Chinese schools? I mean, you're from there. You can tell me what is so special about the school other than the braids.
Oh yes, I am from SAP school. So SAP school means that they have this special program, and there was commentary a few years ago like that SAP schools are a bit racist. Which I didn't agree. I didn't agree at first when I first read it, because I was very like, no, SAP schools, it preserve the culture. But now I realized what is the damage of having SAP schools. So for my school in particular, right, I don't know if all SAP schools are the same, because obviously I'm not a teacher. But my school in particular, everybody has to learn Chinese. So you can imagine anybody who doesn't speak Chinese, because okay, in Singapore, if you are like from Malay background or you're from a Tamil speaking background, you can learn those languages instead of Chinese, right? English plus another language. So if you go to a SAP school which forces you to learn Chinese, anybody who doesn't speak Chinese cannot go in. Obviously, you are missing all the other races. So my school was like literally maybe like 99% Chinese. Every batch maybe there will be a few, like every batch maybe there will be like two or three max that are not at least half Chinese. So
Wait, but the 1%, are they like Indians or Malay?
The ones
Or like
that
other
I
races?
knew,
the
right?
ones that don't have to take mother tongue.
Is like Thais. I think there was a Thai, either Thai or Indonesia, I'm not sure. But there was one Indian guy, he was one batch above, he was also half Chinese. So almost everybody is like, yeah, a Chinese blood lah, you know what I mean?
I mean, fair enough, because it's a Chinese school. If you're not Chinese, I also don't. I'm not Chinese, I don't
that's
want to
why
go
I'm
there.
saying is a SAP. That's what I feel is the problem with SAP, and you wanting your kid to just go into SAP. Yes, SAP, they also say that they have a bigger emphasis on Chinese culture, but in the process you are stopping so many people from entering. And my school is a very good school. It has a lot of good opportunities. So can you imagine if your PSLE score is good, but then you cannot enter that school because you don't speak Chinese? You just, I just feel like in Singapore, right, you're a multiracial country, keep your schools multiracial. That's my point. So I
think
disagree
they
with
want to
that.
be multiracial and want to keep the culture. That's why they do that. Maybe the parents are from. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe the parents are from such schools. That's why they grow up having this mindset.
Yeah, I it's like they got this superiority complex. I don't even know what to say.
No, the thing is, PRC cannot mix with China people also.
Oh yeah.
This is the part I
these
didn't
parents just
understand.
cannot lah. You know, you're missing out on a lot of things in life. If everybody, you're only allowed to be friends with pure blood Singaporean Chinese people. Okay, it's a very small number of such people in the world. Okay, there's only like maybe like 2 million of us in this world. Okay.
No, and a lot of Singaporeans are like, their parents came from other countries.
I think most, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just.
So I don't get it.
So now to this engagement thing, right? You know, I was reading the comments for this particular post, and a lot of people were saying that the guy should have asked the father for permission first before he proposed.
Do you agree?
No. I tell you why, okay, in this special situation, I feel like this guy, he put in a lot of effort already. Like learning to order in Chinese, learning to about their religion.
Yes.
If my boyfriend, if I had to put
I won't
so
do
much
that.
effort to prove to my boifriend's parents that
My race is as good as yours.
or like I am learning the culture of the superior race, right? I tell you, I wouldn't have done it. I would be like, and just be like, yeah, that's it. But the fact that this guy, he put in so much effort, and obviously he didn't ask. I feel like, okay, in this case, right, I think he didn't ask because
He's scared.
he's scared. So this girl, right?
I get why he's scared.
There's no doubt about that. So I think I think the people who are saying like, why didn't he ask first? I feel like just put yourself in his shoes and think about it. You wouldn't ask as well.
I feel like the parents, the mom likes him. I feel like the dad might be opening up, because she said that they were impressed.
Yeah, I think.
Sometimes like when you don't, how do I say? Sometimes when you don't actually know another person from another race, then you will have that prejudice against them. But then
Yeah.
like once you actually know them, then you start to lower down your
That's true.
defense. So I think that is what is happening for the dad.
Yeah, so I think for her, right, just tell the parents, lor.
I mean,
You're
she
already
has
together. What?
to.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
already
like,
said yes.
you're already together for so long. This is like something that's going to happen eventually, that he's going to propose. Unless you're planning to date until you die. So just tell them. See, this is why
I need an update.
SAP schools, right?
Damaging.
Yeah. Because I really think you need to know people from other races. Otherwise, you
Sound like the parents.
yeah, you're very ignorant. Okay, next one. I think there is an update on this. If I saw correct, if I remember correctly, the update was something like the mother said that she was testing her love for him or something like that. I don't know if that is, but I think there was an update. Okay, next one. My parents are of the strong belief that marriage is between two families and not just two individuals. For that reason, they are super against my boyfriend. My parents are definitely not crazy wealthy, but we are comfortable. I don't know what they are worth, but I do know they have a portfolio of over 10 properties fully paid off. They are both still working and have good salaries. Both of them also graduated from university and are very into arts and culture. We also have 2 cars in the family, one European and one Japanese car. Who cares? Oh, okay. My boyfriend's parents are both primary school graduates, unemployed, not into arts and culture, and are very poor. By poor, I mean the sort who can't afford to buy new clothes and can't afford to eat out. They will also rather walk for 45 minutes in the hot sun at their age just to save 60 cents on bus. They also have no money and are financially reliant on their elder son, my boyfriend. My parents have always told me to focus on being happy. So I did an arts degree in uni and am now a freelance designer, taking on a small project every now and then. Each month, I make between $300 and $1,600. I work for interest and enjoyment and not for money, as due to a trust fund my parents set up for me, I am financially independent and don't actually need a job. My boyfriend, on the other hand, is ultra competitive to a point which I'm not sure is even healthy. He will often work insane hours just to try to show his bosses he is the best in the team And he graduated from a top 5 university in the world and now works as an investment banker. I think he makes around 250,000 a year, give or take, depending on bonus. However, it's not like his money is all his because a lot goes to his family, his younger siblings, and his education and family debt. Savings-wise, I wouldn't say he has a lot and definitely can't quit his job. So he's perpetually stressed. My parents are worried that my boyfriend's parents will not get along well with them as they're quite uncultured and low SES. They are also, people don't understand what low SES means. Socio-economic status, low socio-economic status. They are also worried that both my boyfriend's parents and my boyfriend himself will have a negative influence on their grandchildren if we get married in future. Stress and the rat race can't be good for a child's development. Also, my boyfriend is a huge proponent of government schools as they are almost free, and my parents will insist that their grandkids attend private school for education. He doesn't get that just because he is smart and hardworking and did well in the government school system, it doesn't mean our kids will be as lucky as him. My parents believe that private school education will be a huge advantage and a definite must. My parents are also worried that given my boyfriend's upbringing, he will be cheap with me in future. They think he doesn't spend enough on me. So far, he brings me out to eat to nice restaurants and buys me jewelry regularly. But to be honest, by my parents' standard, these are all small money. I used to be very touched by his gestures, but I think my father is right. What's a 30 to 40k or so a year when in marriage, the big ticket items like houses can be millions? If he can't spend on me now while chasing me, there will be no hope once we are married. I tried talking to my boyfriend about this, but he just looked hurt and said that he thinks 30 to 40k a year is a lot of money already to him, which just confirms my father's belief that my boyfriend can't think bigger and is stuck in a low SES mindset. Due to my family background and education, I like pretty things. For example, I once told him I want to learn driving so I can drive a Porsche, which I think are so elegant. He didn't promise to buy one for me, and my father thinks this is one of many red flags. He's a good guy in his own way. He treats me well and puts his all into relationships. But I'm not sure with family pressure if we can walk the long road together. Can two families of such different backgrounds unite via marriage?
I feel like the problem, right, is specifically her family. It's not about richer and poorer family like trying to match, you know? I feel like it's just the family's problem.
That's why I chose this. That's why I chose this because I was looking at this family and I was like, this family is a fucking mess. So, let's talk about this.
I don't know. I feel bad for the guy. He's from the top 5 universities in the world.
I can't believe he's spending 30 to 40k on presents a year. What is he buying? If I was single, I'll be like, just break up with him. I want someone to spend 30 to 40k on me on presents. That's like 5 Chanel bags a year. Like, what do you want? I mean, what does he need to buy you a Porsche? If your family is so rich, just buy your own Porsche.
Precisely.
And you say you got 10 over properties that's fully paid, then go and live in one of the properties. No, why must he buy a house for you? I don't understand.
Just break up.
Yeah, just break up. Just break up. This girl is trash. I hope the guy reading this knows. I mean, if this is a real post and the guy reading this, like, you know, if you recognize yourself in this, please break up with the girl. There are tons of girls. There are tons and tons of girls who are willing to date you out there if you buy them 30 to 40k worth of gifts every year. I promise you that. And there's nothing wrong with government schools, okay?
Yeah, I was thinking, I feel like there's no difference.
Yeah. There's no difference.
After your kid grows up, right, I feel like there's no difference.
I tell you, I think about this mixing with rich people, okay? You honestly never know in your class who is going to end up where. So don't look down on people just because of their family. That's the stupidest thing to do, okay? You really never know. Somebody from your class, your best friend, could one day turn out to be a millionaire. The rich person from your class, the father could just gamble all the debt, or gamble all the wealth away, and you'll be left with nothing. You never know. So don't be a shit to anybody, and just, you know, I think, yeah, just don't.
No, I feel like you should let your kid meet all kinds of people and not just rich people.
I don't understand. Just next.
Okay. Who takes ang pao money from the wedding? So my boyfriend and I will be paying for our wedding fully. My mom is saying that we have to pay 聘金. Oh, wait, what's 聘金? No, I know. Dowry. Right. It will come from the boyfriend or me because it's an interracial marriage, and my parents will collect the ang pao from all parents, friends, and my relatives from my side. To me, this is not reasonable as we will be paying for the wedding ourselves. How will I be able to cover my wedding expenses if so much of the ang pao will go to my parents? FYI, I'm only inviting close friends, around 15 packs, and my parents will not be contributing a single cent. Anyone with similar experience?
No.
No.
Okay, I have friends who were complaining about dowry, but let me just ask you: Would you ask your future boyfriend to give you dowry? Your family, if your family wanted dowry. No, okay.
Okay, if
No,
the
what do you think
boyfriend
of
want
this
to give,
idea
right,
of
I will
dowry?
accept.
Yeah, what do you think of this idea of dowry?
Okay, if the boyfriend family insists on giving, right, I will just take it. Because
a
it's
lot of
free money.
Yeah, it's free money.
But I wouldn't ask. Because the concept of like dowry is like you send your daughter away and then like you will hardly see her again. No, I want to have the option to run away without feeling bad. So I wouldn't ask for a dowry.
Okay. I see that. I see
Because I
that
feel
is
like
the
if,
main purpose.
yeah, I feel like if things go downhill, right? If let's say I ask for the dowry, right? I feel like it will be a problem.
Oh, that's true. Okay, but back to these people, right? Just don't give the parents the dowry. Like, what is the problem? The ang pao money and the dowry, just don't give it to them. Why? I don't know why it's such a huge, like what's the issue? So ang pao money, like after the wedding, just take it away. Why do you have to give your parents? Like I don't understand what is so difficult about doing that. Like the
Maybe the
thing,
parents will just keep asking, then it will be
you
annoying.
you see, I always feel this way, right? If somebody is not afraid to insult you, right, why are you so afraid to insult them? You know what I mean? If your parents are so open and so okay with making you so okay to sour your relationship, why are you so afraid of that? You know, like why are you so afraid of souring the relationship? I really think in this case, right, it's a lot of money, you know, for wedding. You know how expensive Singapore weddings are. I was just calculating. I don't
I
know.
don't think it's a big wedding because you're only inviting 15 people.
It's still a lot. You know, like my friend recently went for. Well, my friend recently did the ROM, right? I think she also spent like, I think each person maybe one plate was maybe 150. So if you think about that, 15 people is still over $1,000. And I don't know how rich these people are lah, but 15 people definitely over $1,000. Maybe like 2,000-3,000. Then you have to book the venue, all that kind of stuff. Everything costs money, okay? And if your parents are not paying for it, why are they taking the money? That's just theft. Like, I don't get it.
I like that you just call it theft.
Just call it what it is. Just call it what it is. Why are they taking your money?
Yeah, I have no idea. I was thinking why would the parents would demand the ang pao money? Like, what is the purpose? Like, it doesn't match with any of the tradition. Maybe like maybe the dowry money.
Dowry
You still
is.
can say it's a tradition thing, but the ang pao money from the wedding guests is I don't know. Is it? It's not right. Like, there's no excuse for it.
The ang pao money is precisely to bless the couple.
So it's for the couple.
It is always for the couple. If the parents are supposed to give ang pao money to bless the couple. So
Just don't give the money.
yeah.
Just say you spent it all. Sorry.
Yeah, just say the hotel chased me for money, so I give them all the ang paos. That's it. End of discussion.
Yeah.
So when they ask, give me the money, no, where? Yeah, I would say if you can find it, you can take it. Okay, next one. Yeah, I think some parents are very greedy to their own children. You know, I I don't understand. Do you not love your kids? Okay, this one. My father passed away last year. Despite having many siblings, nephews and nieces, only 2 out of 30 total came to pay respects during the funeral. Granted, it was during CB, but even my friends came to pay respect for someone they had not met. Why can't his own siblings? At the columbarium, it was just me and my mother. Other than grief and sorrow, we felt incredibly lonely and angry at my uncles, aunties, and cousins. This Chinese New Year, we did not visit anyone nor celebrate Chinese New Year because of my father's passing. It's a Chinese belief of not celebrating joyous occasions for 1 year. However, the same aunties, uncles continue to celebrate Chinese New Year as if everyone is well and fine, posting pictures of their Zoom gatherings and hot pot dinners and family photos. Am I selfish for feeling this way? Do I just give too many hoots about family who do not even care? I tell you, I picked this, right?
I think her feelings are very justified.
I tell you, I picked this, right? Because I feel like after I read this, I feel very sad for this person. And I feel like, family, a lot of times you always expect them to be the ones to care for you and to be there, especially when things happen within your family. But that's very, very often not the case. So recently my grandmother passed away. Was very recent, like, as of this filming was maybe like 2 weeks ago. And the people who showed the most care to me, right, were all my friends. It was my friends that always check out on me and ask me like, are you feeling okay if you need to talk to someone? One of my friends from UK, the one girl that I've known her not very long, I've only known her maybe like 6 months. She even sent like 40 pounds, 40 GBP, not kg, but like, she sent 40 pounds worth of food to our house, to me and Sam's house. So then it was a lot of food, and then I messaged her, I said thanks for all the food, and she said like, I said, you send so much food, it's enough to feed people for like, it's enough to feed us for days. And she said, oh, I was hoping I order more food so you wouldn't have to bother with like cooking for the next few days. And it's just all these things. And then even like you also asked me like, how you doing and everything. So I don't know, I feel like the idea of like family, right, expecting your family to care, right, it's just hurting yourself. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Like my friends are so much more caring. You know what I mean?
Yeah. At first I thought they weren't close, but then like I read the second paragraph. Apparently like they still meet for Chinese New Year. So,
but the thing is, even if you're not close, right? If it's somebody, so for example, like that time one of the people from our church, the grandfather died. And I've never met this person before, but a group of us still went for his wake. It's not something like whether you're close or not. It's just out of respect for whether it's the person who, like the relative. Like if let's say one day it's your parents or my parents, usually the friends will go just to support the person. So I feel like in this case, just cut them off. Like why do you need them? And to be honest, right, before I cut them off, right, I will ask them like, why didn't you go? And this CB thing, I think it was just an excuse lah. Okay, it was just an excuse. I cannot imagine during.
No, the thing is like they still celebrated Chinese New Year. Like if they're going to use CB as an excuse, right, then at least don't celebrate Chinese New Year for 1 year. Like don't contradict your own lies.
No, yeah. No, I mean, I at least have the decency to not post it. Or like, don't block me. At least, I don't know if people know this, okay? On Facebook, you can actually have settings to block certain posts from certain people. So if you wanted to do this type of things, right, then at least have the decency to block me. You know what I mean? Like, don't do this type of things that's so mean. So this family, just throw them in the trash. You don't need them anymore. If anybody come and ask you for money next time, send them hell notes. That is my take.
No, just block them. Just block them.
Next.
Have you ever been in a relationship and it feels miserable? I was together with my ex-boyfriend for a year and he was not the type of son-in-law my parents like. My parents think my boyfriend should be the type who brings them gifts on occasions like Chinese New Year, Mother's Day and Father's Day. And he's just the type of person who will do this. He's thoughtful towards me and he will prepare slippers for me when my feet hurts from high heels, prepare a towel for me when I need to take a shower after exercise. Oh, I do miss him every now and then, and he has become more intense recently. After daily constant nagging from my parents, I caved into pressure and broke up with my ex-boyfriend. My current boyfriend is the above mentioned traits that my parents like, not to mention that his parents owns multiple properties and collects rental for passive income on top of their full-time job. But whenever we go out, we are almost always on touch. I don't get the feeling that I have a boyfriend and he doesn't last as long as my ex-boyfriend. He has brought up the topic of PTO in August and I'm contemplating on it already, but I keep it to myself and don't let him now. Okay. He has told his parents that we are going to PTO and if I do not go ahead, I feel bad. How to bring up the fact that I don't like it when he reaches home and doesn't shower, then lie down on the bed. Don't brush his teeth when he's tired. Don't wash his hands when he's home. Leave dishes at the sink. I don't want to marry and end up divorced because I may be the type who divorced without my husband having an affair since I'm financially independent myself and earn more than him.
Just don't marry this guy lah. What's the problem? What's her question? Or is she just renting? Have you ever been? I guess she's just renting. Just don't marry him lah. The first line: have you ever been in a relationship and feel miserable? Yes. So what do? You broke up.
Break up.
These parents in this little confession.
No, I say, what does the parents think that the boyfriend should buy them gifts on Chinese New Year, Mother's Day and Father's Day?
To be honest, right, it's a very common thing lah. Very, very common. It's a very common, especially for Chinese New Year. Not so much Mother and Father's Day, but Chinese New Year, yes.
Yeah, I think Chinese New Year I can understand, but for Mother's and Father's Day, he's not even married to your daughter yet.
Actually, I don't understand what's the problem. My parents think my boyfriend should be the type to bring gifts on occasions like Chinese New Year, Mother's Day, Father's Day, and he's just the type of person who will do this. Then, what's the problem?
I don't know. This is why I was reading halfway, then I'd be like, cause I was confused at what I read.
What?
Maybe this is poor.
I never thought that this type of princess and pauper situation was so common, but apparently there are a lot of parents out there who are very afraid of their kids marrying poor people. I don't know what to say about this, except I hope that in your life money is not the only thing that is important. Then the parents,
The thing is like she feel like she's going to divorce him. That's what she's literally saying.
yeah,
Just don't marry him. Break up.
this is such a strange thing. Why were you even with him? Why are people dragging along boys that they don't like?
Parents like him. Because he's rich.
If your parents like him, ask your parents to marry him lah. I very tired of people. The parents always say you must do this, do that for us. Aiya, if you like him so much, then just adopt him as your son, oh. Aiyo.
I think she should run. Before she put down the money for the BTO, and then before it is even harder to run away, you should run now. I don't want to keep telling people to break up, but
No, but yeah, these people they should and you know, I feel a bit sad for these people, right? Because can you imagine that your parents are like that and you it's very difficult to cut off your parents, but and then every day you're facing this type of pressure from your parents to do certain things that they want. And I can understand for us easy to say, like, don't listen and just cut it off. But to actually do it, it's very sad lah. And then, you ruin the relationship with your parents. So I feel for all these people who are constantly being, whose parents are always trying to control them, because it's really not easy to move yourself out of that situation, I think. Okay, so this is the next confession. So this one includes physical abuse. Okay, so this confession that I have here is a response to another confession. So it starts like this. Your confession is genuinely what I felt deep inside, and totally understand what you feel. My dad is physically abusive and has given me many black eyes and dislocated body parts. What hurts the most is that I had to go to work with a black eye and lied that I got into a fight at the club. My mother is like yours, weak and did not give any protection, emotionally abusive, biased towards my siblings, but humiliates me in public. Expects me to put my siblings' need above mine, refused to be my guarantor for my exchange while she willingly did it for my siblings. I had to beg her in front of the lone person. It was humiliating. I'm 30 plus now, and although I try to distance myself from them as recommended by the counselor, I'm suffering real problems. I flare up at them even when they apologize or try to do chores or cook for me. On one hand, I try really hard to tell myself to forgive them, but on the other hand, I really hate them. My siblings sabotaged my career and my mother condoned their actions. They ran away from home, promising to come back for me, but left me behind to be the punching bag for my parents. I've always been a kind person, but they bring up a side of me that's verbally abusive, vengeful, and ugly. I struggle every day with my emotions. On one hand, I pity them. No parents would want to be yelled at on Mother's Day or treated so horribly. On the other hand, they have done unforgivable things to me, like sabotaging, emotional, and mental abuse. And in this case of my father, physical abuse so horrific that I could barely walk. I don't know what to do. Deep inside, I feel terrified to turn my back permanently and cutting all ties with them, because that will make me an orphan. Deep down inside, I feel like I have a stupid child that only wishes to be loved and acknowledged. Just a few weeks back, my mother did whatever she could to humiliate me and spew untruths in front of my property agents while I was settling the finances. I wasn't borrowing money from her. I just brought her along to have a house viewing for fun. Yet she stepped on me, like about how I don't give allowance / stingy. And in brackets, this person says, I give yearly sums but not monthly because she uses it to settle my siblings' rubbish like debts, and I don't feel that I'm obligated to give money to people who are bad parents. And just to make me look ugly. The agents even felt so bad, they tried to step in and save the convo. I was so embarrassed and witchy. Like, what was that for? Because I can't afford a condo on my own and my siblings screwed up their own life. Then she wants to step on me and ruin what I have going for me. I have no idea what to do. I try distancing myself, but the hatred and anger bubbles up and makes me go crazy, and have incredibly terrifying outbursts. I really feel like killing them at times, but I have to tell myself that they aren't worth it. Any idea how to deal and resolve such intense bottled up anger and resentment? So this post was a lot, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm mind blown.
That's why I think about, like, the problem with family, right? So there are sometimes family, they are so toxic, but yet you feel so terrible cutting them off. Because it's like, if you cut your own family off, there's nobody left in the world for you. It's that kind of feeling, especially in this case, parents. Like, if even your parents don't love you and care for you, who else in this world will do it? So I feel like, when you have this type of parents, you get a lot of you get a lot of negative self-confidence, for sure. So, even like when you're going into relationships, or even when you're facing maybe even your career, you always feel like, I'm so unlovable that even my parents don't love me. Especially this person has siblings, and the parents love the siblings but don't love them. I feel like it's very sad.
I didn't know why. Like, why the parents are so biased against her.
Some parents are just crazy. So you remember a few years ago, I think maybe it was like last year or 2 years ago. There was this newspaper, this couple, they killed their son in Singapore. Remember, so this couple, right?
The boiling water one, is it?
Yeah, the boy, their son was so poor thing. The son was maybe like 6 years old only. They made him sleep in a cat cage. They made him like eat like I don't know what was rotten food, or like eat like feces or something like that. And then they beat him. They really tortured him until the point when he died. He actually died because they were pouring boiling water onto this boy. There's nothing that this 6-year-old boy could have done to offend them this much. And yet the siblings, this boy, he had siblings. Siblings didn't receive the same treatment. They made him sleep in a cat cage. Sometimes the siblings even sneak food for him because he was so hungry. So I think it's not, it's not always like that. There's a reason. I feel like some parents, they're just evil. They're just so evil, and they don't deserve to have kids. They really don't deserve to have kids.
I feel so bad for her.
Is this a girl? Did they say it's a girl?
Okay, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I thought
him or her.
Him or her, but yeah, this person also. I mean,
like the mother is just, she has no morals. It's not just like unethical, unkind. She doesn't. The mother is like, she has no morals.
Yeah, the fact that the this person even want to spend time with the mother and bring the mother for house viewings, it's like at least feel grateful. Why are you doing this? This person is trying so hard to forgive them. I can totally understand, like the amount of hate this person has for the family, and yet it's so difficult to cut them off because you feel so alienated in the world. So I don't know. I feel really bad for this person, and this person is even going for like therapy.
Yeah. She's 30 plus. No, this is like, when you end work and then you come home. I don't know, the thought of going home after work, I'm very happy. Like I can lie down and then like watch videos and then rest. But for this person, right, like home is not a safe place for her, him or her. So I wonder how that feels.
Some parents are just
they don't deserve children.
They not only do they not deserve children, they deserve jail time, and honestly, they deserve multiple canings, okay, across the face. Okay, so that was our last confession. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy our confessions. The next topic for confessions.
Tell us which topics you want us to read.
Yeah. Which topics? But the next one that we're going to do is in-laws.
I feel like I'll get angry.
In-laws are one of usually the confessions about in-laws is the most insufferable ones. It's the one you read already. You just want to cut them up. But okay. So that is next. This one will be for June. That will be July's confession. So thank you for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.